So my name is Sofia Klesarchaki and I'm the data scientist of Kentyou. Kentyou actually is a newly formed startup company. It's around 2 years old, and it was created after 7 years of research and development activities in CEA, which is a world-leading institution in France. So Kentyou realized that although cities are quite rich in data, they need some help in order to unify this data that are coming from different sectors in the city, analyze those data in order to get some insights, and then build some smart applications on the top of this data. So for this reason, Kentyou is able to provide a unified access to data through an IoT platform which is called SenseNact. On the top of SenseNact, Kentyou is able to provide some AI algorithms, data analytics, and forecasting mechanisms in order to analyze and get insights from the data. Given this access layer and also the algorithms that we provide, we are able to assist the marketplace where other innovators and SMEs can build their smart applications for smart cities. Also, Kentyou is able to provide its own dashboard, which gives a holistic view over the data of the city and also allows the city to define their objectives and tasks and also define their own KPIs and monitor those KPIs over time. So we could say that we are different because we are able to provide AI-based solutions using multiple parameters. Then we have a plug and play mechanism in order to monitor an environment in few seconds. We are able to develop connectors in just a few hours. And also we are working on an open ecosystem within a very large community of Eclipse. Also, our experience of research and development gave us the opportunity to deploy in several different cities. Let me now explain you a little bit more about the challenges of optimizing the locations of soft mobility stations. This problem is quite challenging since it needs to consider multiple parameters in the decision making. First of all, the first parameter is environmental. Within the city, there are different areas like rural, urban, or industrial that have a different CO2 footprint, and they should be treated differently from the city when deciding to deploy new stations. Then there is the social parameter. Our solution wants to ensure that there is social equity and inclusion of every different population group. And of course, the economic parameter, we are always interested in respecting the city's budget and deploying only the most necessary stations within the city. So, why EU Hubs for Data? EU Hubs for Data gave us the opportunity to work in a very interesting problem of encouraging the soft mobility and reducing the CO2 emissions within the city. In particular, we worked on optimizing the locations of soft mobility stations by considering social, economic, and environmental criteria. Also, EU Hubs for Data gave us the opportunity to explore several data that are coming from the city of Barcelona and validate our solution in this city. Moreover, we had the opportunity to bring new data in the environment, in the ecosystem of EU Hubs for Data, and also test and scale our solution in this dataset that corresponds to Paris-Saclay area. Also, in the context of EU Hubs for Data, we had the ability to exploit several services that scaled our solution by accessing big data infrastructures and also improving some parts of our solution by utilizing some relevant analytical toolkits. Also, we received some very valuable business consultancy service that I will talk to you about this later. So in a nutshell, I could say that our solution was able to integrate a very large number of datasets. We integrated more than 260 datasets. We analyzed those datasets, and this analysis gave us the opportunity to detect the different areas within the city and address the environmental criterion. Also, we had the opportunity to get some insights, to provide some insights of those data, which helped us a lot to address which exactly social groups and populations needs to be encouraged for soft mobility. And given all these insights, we were able to provide 2 different heuristics in order to have some recommendations for the optimal locations of the stations. This work was published in an international conference, and also Kentyou, within the context of EUH4D, had the opportunity to build the first prototype and first exploitable result, which is a dashboard on which we can plot the recommendations of optimal locations, and each such recommendation is also accompanied with a small explanation of why this location is considered as optimal within the city. Also, as I have mentioned before, we had the opportunity to receive a great consultancy service on the business domain. So we had the opportunity to define and explore our strengths and weaknesses, and build a business model, which will allow us to exploit and also to promote our solution in the next coming months. Also, to sum up, I would like to talk a little bit about the lessons that we have learned during these months working with EUH4D. First of all, it was very interesting because we realized that cities do not always have the same datasets available. So each city has its own dataset, and sometimes those datasets differ over the different cities. And moreover, the cities do not always have the same priorities on soft mobility or even on the general mobility sector. So it is very important for our solution to understand, first of all, the needs of the cities, which was the case for EUH4D by talking to Barcelona, to the city of Barcelona. Also, we had our solution is very important to allow the cities to define their own priorities and KPIs, which we did through our prototype. It is considered very important to exploit the dataset that they exist within the city and the service, that they are already there, and utilize them. And also we are very interested into building solutions that can generalize and scale, and that was the case when we tested our solution in 2 different cities. So thank you very much for your attention. Feel free to visit our website and give any feedback or if you have any questions through my email.
Find out more at our website